TKM Incorporated in Moss, Tennessee is a construction company that specializes in erosion control, seeding, and soil, hydroseeding, hydromulch, minor excavation, and silt fence. They also provide traffic control and construction signs. Their business is keeping people safe, but their passion, their mission, is they wish that all men could be saved. TKM has adopted the nickname the King's Men because as they serve you, they also serve the King. If they could provide any of their services for you, please contact them at 931-243-3958. That is 931-243-3958. Or you can contact them on the net at tkminc2001 at twlakes.net. That is tkminc2001 at twlakes.net. TKM Incorporated is a sponsor of Keeping Up with Jones, the Lonnie Jones podcast adventure. SJ&L General Contractor specializes in asphalt, demolition, concrete finishing, and heavy hauling. This family-owned business is licensed in Alabama and Tennessee. You can contact them for any of your construction needs. 931-433-4660. That is 931-433-4660 or 3Ws and a dot, sjnl.com, www.sjnl.com. SJ&L General Contractor is a sponsor of Keeping Up with Jones, the Lonnie Jones podcast adventure. I was standing in my own house, and my wife and my daughter were having a conversation about me like I wasn't even there. Now, that has happened before. On Thursdays, I used to pick Lonnie Beth up after school, and I said, "Look, Thursdays are our day. I know I'm not cool to hang out with, and we can do anything you want to do. We ride 4-wheelers. We can go rock climbing. I got enough rope in the garage. We could assault Everest. Anything you want to do. We go out and shoot." And her thing was, "Hey, Dad, I'd like to go to the mall." So for months before she graduated high school, I'd pick her up after school and we'd go to the mall and we'd buy overpriced coffee and go into these stores that I had no business being in. There was this particular store at the mall called 357, and I think that refers to some kind of a dress size. And she's a tiny little person, and so there were special clothes there that would fit her and only her. We came in from one of our excursions to the mall one time, and she tells Jackie, says, "Mom, those old ladies in the 357 store were macking on Dad." And Jackie said, "They were not macking on your father." She said, yes, they were. She said, "Look how he's dressed." They weren't macking on him. They saw you walk in and realized he's the guy with the credit card. That's all they were doing. I was standing in the room, and yet you said, "Look at how I'm standing right here." Well, same thing. I'm standing in my own house. My wife and my daughter are talking about me like I'm not there. And finally, her mother says, "Would you just take him to the mall and buy him some new blue jeans?" Now, buying blue jeans is a traumatic thing for me. You see, when we were little, we were growing up, we would go to Sears or JCPenney or we would go to the Western Auto, and my mom and dad would buy jeans for us. And so you go in to buy the jeans, and my brother's older than me, so he gets his jeans first. I think that's the way that works. And so you walk up to the little display where the jeans are, and you find the Slims. And he tries his jeans on, and they fit perfectly, and he's happy and easy to buy for. And then they move me down, and I don't get to buy slim jeans. I get to buy husky jeans. Who wants to wear husky jeans? That's a dog. I began to convince myself that since one of my childhood superheroes that I like to watch on cartoons was Ben Grimm, part of the Fantastic Four, the guy that looks like he's made out of rocks, the ever-loving blue-eyed thing, Benjamin Grimm from the Fantastic Four. I wear husky jeans because I'm built like Ben Grimm. No, wearing husky jeans means you're fat. And so I didn't like going and buy jeans and didn't like being insulted about my build. So when I got old enough, I abandoned the insensitive company who would make things as slim and husky. And I started buying Levi's 501 button fly jeans. Now, Levi Strauss did not invent denim, but he changed it. He put it together with a special stitching. He put it together with rivets, and he dyed it blue. And basically, he wasn't really selling denim as much as he was selling quality denim, the way it was constructed. His original logo had a pair of overalls being pulled between two horses. And Levi's products were worn by miners and cowboys, and workers all over the place wore Levi's jeans. And when they expanded their company and they started making other things, they would make the claim that we put a little blue jean in everything we make. I remember the branding in that commercial. In fact, there was a commercial that involved actual branding. They showed these cowboys, these animated cowboys riding, and they're riding herd on these blue jeans, and the jeans are floating through the air. And then they talk about, the denim for children, and they were a rowdy bunch, and they get in all kind of trouble, but they survived it. And at the end of the commercial, they've got a pair of jeans tied down. This guy has a Levi Strauss logo, and he sticks that branding iron onto it. And somehow in the Mandela effect, we had this memory that you brand this jean, and as that hot iron touches the denim, you hear the guy's voice go, "We put a little blue jean in everything we make." We were in chemistry class, and Bobby Phillips took a pair of tongs and held them over the Bunsen burner, and then he took those red glowing tongs and mashed it on his chemistry paper, and it seared the shape of the tongs into the paper. And he looked up and said, "We put a little Levi's in everything we make." Now, the commercial never actually did that, but we had created in our minds that one went with the other. Anyway, I end up at the mall with my daughter, and we don't go where they sell the Levi's. We don't go to JCPenney. We don't go to Sears. We go to this store called American Eagle. Now, if you are a middle-aged man, and I was in my 50s, if you're a middle-aged man and you go into the American Eagle, if Slim versus Husky hurts your feelings, if you're sensitive all about Slim versus Husky, you are about to have your world wrecked. Because you see, they have skinny jeans. They have anorexic, they have prisoner of war, they have runway model zombie, they have animated skeleton. Listen, I'm guilty of saying the phrase leggings aren't pants. Well, mister, are those your legs? Are you riding a kildee? Pants aren't supposed to be leggings either. Now, you got to understand that at my thickest, at my huskiest, I wore a size 36 in the waist, but I have a 29-inch length. So, even if you get down to my skinniest, a 32, 29 looks out of size. I'm a little wider than I am tall. But anyway, we finally get to the jeans that I can wear in American Eagle. I go past skinny jean and tight-fitting jeans and painted-on jeans and animated skeleton jeans and prisoner of war jeans, and we finally get to the jeans that actually fit me, and they've got a little spandex in them. They're not 100% denim. They've got some kind of stretchy material, and they call them relaxed fit athletic cut, which is American Eagle for you're still fat compared to these people. Oh, and I didn't. So we get some jeans. We get 2 or 3 pair of jeans. I have to go into the fitting room and try them on and come out and make my daughter approve of them. And I get the jeans, and then I walk up, and Skeletor is checking me out. And he also wants me to pay for the jeans. This kid is so skinny. I mean, he's so little. If he turns sideways and sticks his tongue out, he looks like a zipper. Give this kid a red tie and you'd think he was a thermometer. And so we're standing there in line, and he's looking at me, and obviously I'm sticking out like a bull in a china shop in American Eagle. And I'm standing there, and he rifles through the jeans, and he looks at the sizing, and they're relaxed fit athletic cut. And he looks at me, and I'm a little chunky, and he says, "Sir, would you like one of the frequent buyer cards?" And I'd had it up to this point. I said, "Look, son, the jeans I'm wearing are Levi Strauss, and they are older than you are. And if these jeans don't last me till I die, we are going to have a serious problem. Do I look like I'm a frequent buyer here? No, sir." And at this point, my daughter intervened, paid for the jeans, and we left. I still have 4 pairs of 501s in my closet. I've used them to set up tree stands. I've cut wood in them. I've prepared ropes courses in them. The only thing I wear more frequently than I do my 501s is my military pants because of the flexibility and the extra pockets. I wear those old BDUs, but I still have my jeans. I work in my shop in them. I change the oil in them. I've scouted for deer in them. I've done all kind of things in my Levi's 501 jeans, and they're still solid. They don't even have frayed marks on them. My new trendy, stretchy, custom jeans, yeah, I already got holes in the knees. Yeah, I've already got holes in the knees of these flimsy little jeans I bought at American Eagle, and I only wear those jeans. I only wear those jeans to the office, and I sometimes wear them, on a real casual setting at church. I don't wear them out in the yard. I don't wear them out in the shop. I don't wear them doing anything. And yet these jeans are wearing out, but my Levi's 501s button fly jeans are still solid and still durable. But I'm not allowed to wear them in public because my wife doesn't like the way they look on me. Levi's produced a product that was unmatched by anybody else in a clothing factory. They had a slogan in addition to "we put a little blue jean in everything we make." Their other slogan was "quality never goes out of style." And so, what do you want? You want quality, or you want style? Whatever it is, do you want it to last? Levi's even had a campaign that said, you can pay more for something that's made better, for something that lasts longer, and was initially designed to be treated rough. We make a jean that'll take anything you can throw at it. So if you're making an investment, if you're making an investment into something that has expectations of longevity, and that may be a career path, it may be a study path, it may be a relationship, it may be a friendship, it may be a commitment, it may be a contract. Well, if you want it to last, if there's an expectation of longevity, then what's it actually made of? Is it made of substance, or is it made of show? What's the initial ingredient? Did this relationship, did this friendship, is there initial quality in the start? Did it start with something that had quality or qualities to it that are admirable? And not only what is it made of, how is it made? How is it put together? What holds it together? Is it stitches? Is it Duraplus thread, or is it rivets? Or is it something that was made somewhere else in a foreign country by people who don't care about quality? Where was it made? Did it originate in a good place? Did it come out of good circumstances? I hear people all the time struggling with their relationships, and I don't mean to be cavalier, and I don't want to be offensive, but I hear people all the time, well, we met in prison, we met in rehab. I heard a girl say one time, why can't I just meet a nice guy at the bar? And I hear guys say, why can't I just meet a nice girl at the strip club? The initial ingredient has a lot to do with not only how it's made, but where it's made. And then the other question you ask, this thing that I'm doing, this thing that I'm involved in, was it designed for longevity? Was it designed for permanence? There's some things that aren't, from the start, they're not going to last. There's some friendships and some connections and some agreements that you get into, and by their very nature, they don't have permanence to them. Now, please understand, I'm not saying that you never wear out. I'm not even saying that Levi's don't eventually fade, get worn, or frayed. But it's an extreme set of circumstances when they do. And I'm not talking about the extremes. I'm talking about when you make an initial investment, an initial connection. Do you start out with the initial ingredients that have the idea behind them, the intention that it's going to be permanent and long lasting? I'm talking about the initial expectations of longevity and durability. I'm talking about the integrity and the endurance and the commitment that the part we control, that we bring to the table. It's reasonable to expect the same thing from our friends. it's reasonable that if I bring this to the table, I'm going to hold you to that same accountability. I'm going to expect my friends, my business partners, my teammates, the people that I worship with, my family members. I've got the reasonable expectation that if that's my initial ingredient, I'm going to be partnered with people who bring those same initial ingredients. And if not, then it's not going to last. Now, truly, we only control us. So others may or may not live up to those expectations. And I'm really only talking about me. I'm only talking about what I control. I'm only talking about how I respond. We are in control of the initial ingredients that we add to anything, any partnership, any relationship, any commitment. So then it really boils down, if you're going to ask the question of steadfastness. Am I here for the long term? I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to fade. I'm not going to wear out. I'm going to endure. My relationships, at least my part of them, will endure. My commitments will endure. It really boils down to a fill-in-the-blank question. You think about everything that you're involved in, and you fill in this blank, and then you know whether or not you have something that can have an expectation of longevity, and you understand what your initial ingredient is. We put a little in everything we make. And if you don't put the same quality ingredients into every situation, it's not going to last. Using the tool of shortwave radio, World Christian Broadcasting literally covers the world every day with the gospel. They use 2 large curtain antennas. One is located in Anchor Point, Alaska, and the other in Madagascar. They send out messages that are recorded at their international home in Franklin, Tennessee. They make available 40 hours of broadcast every day. The broadcasts are made in English, Chinese, Russian, Spanish, Portuguese, Korean, English for Africa, and Arabic. They would love for your group to visit them. You can bring your ladies group, your youth group, or your men's group. Just give them a call at 615-371-8707. 615-371-8707, or you can go to 3Ws.worldchristian.org, find the Donate Here button, and make a financial contribution to support this work that literally covers the world every day with the gospel. World Christian Broadcasting, in cooperation with Keeping Up with Jones, the Lonnie Jones podcast adventure. Keeping Up with Jones, the Lonnie Jones podcast adventure. I am your host, Lonnie Jones. My wife Jackie and I moved to the city of Huntsville in 1986 for me to be a youth and family minister. I have been a minister since 1980. I have served in this community as a police chaplain assigned to a SWAT team since 1992, and I've been in private practice as a licensed professional counselor since 1998. I'm also an adventure educator and an avid outdoorsman. I dabble in rock climbing and I goof around with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Our life has been full of many wonderful experiences and some just outright adventures. I used to write about those things in a little church bulletin article. So now instead of asking you to read those things, we're just going to talk about them in our podcast. And as we talk about them, we're going to talk about the facts. The facts lead to concepts, and the concepts lead to application. One caveat about the facts is, for the most part, we're going to tell you the facts just as they happened. But every now and then, we're going to tell you the way other people have told us they remember it happening, with a little bit of embellishment. It's all good, clean fun and for educational purposes. Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoy Keeping Up with Jones.